Zoom, I miss you. I love you. Please come back. Healthiest damn relationship I've ever had. Anyways,
Was it though?
with Zoom,
I didn't like Zoom that much.
I kind of liked it. I mean, I liked that you could change the playback speed and see like when they did the transcript thing, that was really cool. So, overall, not a bad video call, video recording situation. Probably my favorite. Huh?
Just cost money.
Yeah, just stupid. So, anyways, we're taking donations now to get back to Zoom. So, if you feel so inclined, Venmo. Just Venmo us.
No cash.
PayPal,
card, Zelle, literally any form of payment.
Social Security number and bank account, that works too.
If you're offering.
Exactly. No, but welcome back.
Hello.
We're here. Surprise, Shoddy. But you didn't expect that.
Okay, so this week we wanted to talk about love languages. And
we're just getting right into it.
Oh, absolutely. Normally we would do our little updates. Not gonna lie, my life is a little same old right now.
Yeah.
I have kids that saves to grades, and I do not want to do those. Yes, Kylie.
I have an update. This is the thing I was telling you about. I did a spit take on accident last night on Sydney. It was really bad, like in the middle of the bar, because this guy was behind me, and so Sydney usually does this thing where she does like elbows to like get him out of the way or like kick him back, and so I was kind of doing that, but I was drinking my Long Island at the same time, and then I think he kind of bumped me, and I was already kind of like laughing, and I like turned to Sydney and went,
ew,
like perfectly on her face, and I just went, shit. And it was around like my 5 newer friends too, and they all just were like nobody did anything until Cindy was like, it's fine. Yeah, that was my most embarrassing moment, and biggest update of the last 2 weeks that I really just wanted to share and document. I think it was worth it, so you're welcome for that.
Okay, thank you for sharing your embarrassing moment, Kylie. Now on to Lauren.
Yeah.
No. So I don't know. I don't feel like I have enough knowledge on the love languages to understand that it's the 5. So we have quality time, words of affirmation, gifts,
acts of service,
and physical touch. You can tell which ones aren't the ones I invest my time
and
in.
which one
yeah.
which one I'm more.
So I don't know. I feel like they're all pretty self-explanatory. It is good to note that your ones that you give are not always the ones you receive.
Okay, that was a question I wanted to bring up, so you can get onto that later too. But
okay, but just like to preface, like it's not the same, or it can be, but it doesn't have to be. And then, but yeah, they are pretty self-explanatory. Words of affirmation doesn't need to be so surface level either. Like usually there are more in-depth words that people enjoy hearing. It's not, you look pretty today. It's, wow, you did great on this, or you worked really good. Like that's the kind. Physical touch, that one's very self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
But of course,
but I will say
platonic too.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said that could be platonic.
Physical touch still?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to say, God dang it, I forgot what I was going to say. Continue. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I feel like my train of thought just like rammed your train of thought and like T-boned it.
Fine. I'm used to 7th graders, so this is easy. Okay, we're back to it. So, quality time, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Again, it can be very platonic. These like love languages don't have to be romantic love in any way. quality time, people also do like really subtle types of, I don't know if subtle's the right word, but very simple types of quality time. Like going to get coffee is a quality time that a lot of people enjoy. What was the other one? So acts of service. Those are literally anywhere from just like going to run errands and like for someone to getting them a coffee. I always think of coffee. I don't know why. I do know why. I'm obsessed with coffee.
It's like that's self-explanatory, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really into acts of service, so if you are, I really want to hear about that one.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Like I don't have much on that one, but and then gift giving. That one's very self-explanatory. Like just giving anything.
Yeah. I do remember what I was gonna say specifically about physical touch, but I think you kind of touched on it, so I think that's why it like left my mind. Like when you were saying like it can be platonic too, I was also just gonna say like that whether it's platonic or romantic, like even just in the romantic realm, like that doesn't have to necessarily mean like something so intimate. It could literally just be like super subtle or like just very little things.
Right. Like I know with teachers, I've seen it with especially special education teachers. They are really into the more of a calming touch. So physical touch is like, oh, a hand on the arm, a hand on the shoulder. It's not I have to give you a hug, I have to hold your hand, all of that.
Right.
So it can really vary. And then I was gonna say also that your romantic and your platonic love languages could also be different because I've noticed that for me.
I was also gonna see that. I was gonna ask you that too. And I do want to know, do you have like did you like look in, do you just know that they aren't, or like have you looked into it and like is there not research, but like maybe to like back up that like your platonic may not be the same as your romantic, and the one that you like to receive isn't necessarily the one that you like to give, because like I feel like I've not battled with that like it's some big deep like dilemma, but like it's definitely been like maybe one of them is like underlying actually all of them, and I'm almost like maybe just I don't know, like
I see what
reluctant to do with other, like for example physical touch. Like I think that's a big one for me, especially in like romantic relationships, right? So it's like, but it's like I don't usually do that with my friends.
Yeah, same.
So I don't hug my friends a lot, but like at the same time I think there's like a level of like, okay, what if these people don't like to be hugged like when they're going through something? So it's like, is it affected by like social circumstances or like the person? I don't know if you have an answer. I'm treating you like you're some like freaking psychologist right now.
It's fine. I think overall everyone has probably like the same number one, because I think that just is that's more of a personality thing. I have seen research or not like research, but like a couple articles and maybe some TikToks, that kind of research.
Our amateur research.
Yes, on how the one you receive and the one you give is different. So that one's pretty set in stone. The platonic versus romantic, I just gone off of my own personal experience because I'm the same way with physical touch.
Yeah.
Like when it's a romantic thing, like I'm more into it than platonic touch.
But I also feel like that's normal.
I think that is normal because I think with romantic relationships, you usually have that level of intimacy that you don't with other people, and that like with touch, and that's just kind of natural. Yeah. But that's a me thing.
Yeah.
Because you're saying it could be someone else's thing, but mine's very much a me thing because I don't really like hugs.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm well aware, Lauren. I am well aware. But
like even with like my parents, I'm like, eh.
Like, yeah, that's how the thing is. Like, I think for me, physical touch is like it's a very common thing when I'm in a relationship, because I think like kind of what you were saying, like that level of intimacy, and I think like the physical is a lot like more feel like this might, I don't want this to come out sounding weird, but like, I think physical intimacy like means a lot more like in a relationship because it's like you can't do the same things that you do with your friends, but like it's like you can, you're gonna use a lot more of like the same words and like have a lot more of the same conversations, but it's like you're not gonna go and like hold hands with your guy friends when you're hanging out like you would like if that's your thing, like in a relationship. You're not gonna go, I sure as hell hope you're not gonna go cuddle with all your friends this like same amount, but just different.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Before I get like too far gone into that.
No, and I think that's a pretty obvious thing. I think it goes back to what we were talking about in the last one with those 4 out of 5 of those love languages are very kind of friendship, platonic level.
Yeah.
And you need
like a list friendship. Of them.
Yeah, I know. You need that good friendship base in a relationship, in a romantic relationship. So that 5th one with physical touch kind of brings it a step up.
Yeah.
So I get that. I totally get what you're saying because it usually I think people have a pretty common understanding that physical touch is more of a romantic thing. However, some people are cuddly with their friends.
Yeah, which nothing wrong with it at all. But I feel like physical touch is just so much more dependent on like the individual person. Yeah, because like I won't go and hug my mom or my dad like unless I'm really going through something.
Right.
And like I'll be sobbing already and my mom will literally have to be like, Kylie, do you want a hug? And then I'll shake my head no and she'll be like, are you sure? And I'm like, I need a hug. But that's like the only time. So it's like literally happens maybe like 4 times a year. Now it's more often because I never see them. But like I don't hug my friends unless like I know they just naturally like hugging or if I haven't seen them in forever.
Right. No.
Anyways, I could talk about the physical touch one all day. I just
because it's so
very interesting and I don't know. And it's also like it's a big one for me. So
right. When it comes to I guess the ranking of what yours are, and let's just do like very overall. Like we don't have to get into like which one's your romantic, which one's your all
right.
Just
I feel like overall. I might naturally like get into it though. Not like super in depth, but
because I guess my bottom 2 probably always stay the same. It's my top 2 that might kind of
my top 3
that might change depending.
I feel like mine have kind of just been juggling all over the place recently. Like I feel like obviously the past couple of years I've kind of like I'm gonna say transformed because that's a little strong of a word, but like I've kind of like come back into my own after like some different like experiences and stuff.
Right.
So I feel like things are changing now. But yeah, anyways, let's get into yours. What are your bottom 2?
My bottom 2 are acts of service and
I'm gonna get a list. Okay.
I know, well I can't think of it because I never think of it. Acts of service and gift giving.
Words, gifts, okay.
So
I was like, I'm gonna just say everything.
I prefer to give I guess I'm gonna actually get into it too. I prefer to give gifts when like as my giving, but I don't really necessarily want to receive them.
Yeah.
So I guess that's one thing. Acts of service, don't care about it. I mean, I care about it a little, I guess, every once in a while, but like,
right.
I do my own stuff, and I think
that's how you know that. Yeah, I mean, that's how you know that someone's like aware of more than just themselves, is if they do like acts of service every now and then. I guess like
I'll give that if someone receives it well.
Yeah,
I will do it myself because I get it done how I want it done.
That's true.
Which not that I don't appreciate it, it's just very low.
Yeah.
My top 3: physical touch, And then 2 is quality time. And I think number 1 is words of affirmation. And I just realized that one was number 1.
Words of affirmation is your
Yes.
number one.
I
Okay,
always thought
interesting.
it was quality time
Yeah.
until I realized, as a people pleaser with anxiety, I really appreciate when someone is able to look at me and go, "Oh my gosh, you're doing a great job on this." Or,
Yeah.
"Oh, I can see you're working hard. I can see like I just any of that kind of stuff like it can be like so little, but it just a little bit to kind of keep me going. Like I noticed it with my
Yeah.
kids at school, like it when the with the teacher of the month stuff came out that first round and they were just saying like, "Oh, I can see she's working hard." I was like, "Thank you."
Oh,
Um
that's so
and
cute.
then
Aw.
just my kids noticing I was at their games this past week and going, "Oh my god, I saw you, like I'm so glad you came," or "Oh, I want you to come to the game later." Like
Yeah.
it it just affirms that I am working for them and helping them out.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with like my parents, Lance, like if they are like, "Oh, I see you're working hard," or "Oh, I appreciate you helping me with whatever it was today," that I'm just like, "Thank you," like for acknowledging that I was there and
Right.
effort because I think I'm always like, no one's noticing I'm working hard and this is taking a lot out of me. Or
Hmm.
even if it's not taking a ton out of me, oh, someone noticed that I was able to help them that day or I was able to do something. I also struggle with always feeling like I'm not productive enough in life.
Hmm.
So when someone sees that I'm productive, I think that's what gets me going.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
gets me through the day. Quality time, uh, I don't know. Feel like that one's pretty self-explanatory. Like I like hanging out with people. Like I am more
Hmm.
social. And then, but maybe it's changed because all my friends have moved away. I don't know. Um, and then yeah, physical touch. That one can bounce around when it comes to romantic versus platonic.
Yeah.
That's all.
I wonder, like how often people's love languages,
Change.
yeah, because
Oh,
I definitely think like with what you just said and like kind of what I was saying earlier, like different chapters of your life and like transitions that you go through, I think kind of make you reevaluate, not consciously, but like kind of reorder them in a way sometimes. And
yeah.
I'm just wondering like what I guess kind of like when that happens. This is just my brain
Oh.
thinking. I'm like when you're a little kid and you're like living in your parents' house,
Mhm.
and like roughly like up until you're 18, depending on like your situation, circumstances. Like I wonder if there's much change within that, or at least when you start getting into like maybe like in your teen years, there's a little bit of a change because you're more like, okay, this is me now. I'm not just
Yeah.
like you're not so attached to your parents.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it goes from like when you're a baby to when you're like teen-ish years, and then like your teen years are their own teen through like college level ish, maybe post college, and then kind of like your adult life. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I see what you're
I feel
saying.
like those could be the natural transitions. I feel like for me at least, like I didn't used to analyze this before high school really, but it's interesting.
Well, I think kids also can be naturally more into physical touch because they can't speak
Oh, that makes sense.
or they can't, not they can't speak, they can't formulate those full thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. When
Um,
they're like literal like babies.
right. But some babies don't
Also,
like that. Some babies aren't
yeah,
cuddly, so I don't know.
I wonder if it depends too on like the parents' physical touch, like
Mhm.
not physical touch. Well, yeah, kind of, but
Oh
like
yeah.
if their love language, like just in general,
Yeah.
especially I think like the moms,
Hmm.
I guess like growing up in those early years, like if she's a very like physically nurturing mom or if she's
Right.
like spoils you with gifts. I don't know.
Right. No, that's another one because some people like grow up thinking money buys love.
Right.
So,
and I don't want to say that's like gift giving is a bad one because it's definitely not.
No.
But I mean, any of them can like turn into something bad. But yeah, or like if you're, I don't know, I feel like acts of service would probably be a little less common when you're younger because it's like, I feel like you don't have so much on your own plate to be
giving
taken
that.
off by, other people or like to give it. But
I don't
I
know.
guess giving acts,
Because
I was forced to do chores. Giving acts of service was not my favorite growing up, for
Well,
sure.
mine wasn't giving, but I know like receiving that because when I was younger and Lance went through the same thing, if our rooms were just total messes, because I don't know if that was like a way we were expressing some bad emotions as like a 5-year-old, but if they were just messy rooms, beds weren't made,
Yeah.
just pigsty, like, and then Tanya would come upstairs and would help us pick it all up, even though it was technically our chore to do, but she saw that it was getting too much.
Right.
Too much. I do remember appreciating that when it happened because,
Yeah.
like, she did that for Lance when he was home for the summer because he was stressed at work and stressed at life and all this stuff was happening. And she ended up like helping pick up his room. And I was like, oh, she used to do that when we were kids. Like, when your room's a mess, your brain's a mess. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
it coincides. So the fact that she did that, I was like, huh, I wonder what we were going through as 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds, whatever. But still, like, it was, I appreciated it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he did, but I did. So it's just
Yeah.
like,
I don't
nice.
think, yeah. And that's, then I definitely feel like it affects it because I don't think my mom did that as much. Like the acts of service thing. It was definitely like, she was kind of like, oh, it's your responsibility. Like, it's your responsibility. You just like she didn't, and she would help me fold my laundry, sometimes and like do little things. Best mom. But like the acts of service thing wasn't, I guess, as strongly, or as like significant in my household.
Yeah.
So that's
Just
interesting.
depends. What are your ranks? Your ranking?
So I definitely still feel like I'm trying to figure it out because it just, right now it's so scenario driven. I feel like that because I'm going through so many different things that it's not, I don't have a baseline right now.
Yeah.
I don't really know. But gift giving has been, and I think always will be at the bottom. I just, I'm not like, I don't consider myself like a super materialistic person, and like my growing up, like I feel like we kind of just like had what we needed and we didn't like, gifts weren't a huge thing. And like even on my dad's side, like we don't even do gifts for Christmas. We just like spend time together. So I feel like gift giving has always just been one that I'm like, meh. Like, yeah, I would love something. A little cute flowers or like a coffee. But for me, that's more of just like, oh my gosh, like you're thinking of me. Like I could really care less if the flowers were like freaking weeds picked out of like, well, I would hope there was some effort, but like like if they were like my least favorite flower and like always made me sneeze, like that would make almost no difference than like getting my favorite flower.
Yeah, but
as long as like they didn't know that I was like hecka allergic.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't malicious, but I think
Right.
that's part of gift giving. Is it just to acknowledge or just to be like, oh, they were thinking of me? I don't know if it's necessarily like the quantity part.
Right. I guess I would just also like the gift giving part definitely makes me feel like it would make me feel smothered. Like whether it's smothered in like materialistic things or like little things that even just is like almost like a smothering of like thoughts. Like, oh, whether I'm just like thinking of this like in a romantic setting, and I feel like that's just naturally what I associate it with. But it's like even if my mom was like, oh, like I got you like coffee, figured you need it. I'd be like, oh my gosh, thanks, mom. And then if the next week she was like, oh, I got you some flowers, I got you this, I got you that, I'd be like,
Now I owe
that would
you
just
or
be,
something.
yeah, it would just be a lot. I just feel like I would feel very smothered, but yeah. Next one. Moving up in the rank. I have my little like post-it on my screen, so I'm looking down at that. Um, hmm. I think my next one. This one's hard. Probably because I would normally say words of affirmation, but that's one that I feel like has changed a lot recently. So I think now acts of service is my number 4.
Okay.
But I still really like acts of service. It's just not as frequent. Like I don't want it as frequently because it's kind of the same of like I appreciate like when someone's considerate and like thoughtful enough to like know what I have on my plate, be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, let me take something off of this for you." But at the same time, like if that person does it so much or like takes off like big things, then I'm just like, am I not capable? Like
Oh,
can
yeah.
I not do it myself? And like I feel like that's not a healthy mindset to have. But at the same time, it's kind of like if my mom is taking so much off my plate, it's like, do you think that I can't handle this? Like, please leave it on either so that I can learn and grow from it or like actually like ask for help when I need it. But
Mm.
yeah, so acts of service is I really like little things. I like laundry, folding laundry, doing dishes. Somebody wants to take that off my plate. Yeah, any day. Um, what's my next one? I feel like this is taking so long. This is what my mind looks like on the daily.
No,
Um, I think my next one would probably be words of affirmation because it's still not my favorite, but I think recently, especially like coming up here and not having like super close friends, I don't get a lot of encouragement, and I feel like I was a little bit spoiled with that. Like just in college and like high school and just growing up around people that either like I was already just like naturally more affirmed, or I had like my mom who would be like, "You're doing great, Kylie," or my dad being like, "Wow, you're kicking ass," or like even just like whenever I would do things and be around people and like just I would feel like I had a lot more like encouragement. And then now I'm like, I don't know these people. I clearly don't want them to be like, you're a badass, Kylie. I would be like,
yeah.
how the heck do you, what? I'm like,
How do
you
you
have
know?
no, yeah, I'm like, yeah, thank you, I am. But like, what?
Yeah.
Um, so that was like, I had like a little bit of a meltdown when I was calling my mom and I was like, I don't get encouragement like from anywhere else. So like,
Oh.
I was like, because I'm not talking to my dad. I don't expect encouragement from like Cassie. She's got so much on her plate. And also, I'm like, she's my younger sister, which doesn't like necessarily mean anything because she's still like my best friend. But like, I don't, if she was giving me encouragement, I would almost feel like I'm not doing good enough for her.
Yes, that's that
If
older
she
sibling thing.
saw,
Yep.
yeah, if she saw that I needed encouragement, I would be like, okay, Kylie, we got to step up our game. Like,
Mhm.
we're clearly not doing that, which is not it at all. Like, and I know like if Cassie, and she doesn't give it to me often, so I think she knows that I probably don't like it coming from her. But like if she were to be like, Kylie, like you're doing great, I'd be like, okay, gonna go cry,
Yep.
but thank you, but
Yep.
also need to step it up. So
Because you
which I
always
think
have to be the role model.
right, which I think
Always.
ties into what you were saying. Like it kind of gives motivation, but like at the same time, it's almost like a scary motivation.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I don't love words of affirmation, but I think right now, like, I need it more than I'm getting it, or like I don't have the normal balance that I'm used to. So I called my mom. I was like, where we were just talking, and she gave me like a list of things that I needed to like be aware of and like do, which is like great and fine. And like I appreciate her looking out for me. But I like got no encouragement from that call, and I was like, so I called her back. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna cry when I say this, but I really need this. And so yeah, that was a big like switch up one. But that one, I could get into that one too. But anyways, my my second one right now. Second one's quality time, and I feel like
What was your first one?
physical touch.
Oh, sorry. I thought we already did that one. Go.
You just ruined that. No, I'm kidding.
Keep going.
It was gonna be such a surprise. Such a surprise.
After you already said 4 out of the 5.
Such a freaking surprise. You know what? When Abby Lee does her pyramid, everybody knows who's on the top after she's switched off everyone else.
We should have done a pyramid.
We really should have. Do you want to cancel this?
No.
Okay. Everyone listening, just imagine a pyramid in your head. Okay. So on the bottom row, we have. Just like go all the way up. But anyways, so yeah, quality time is my second, I think. Quality time and physical touch, they don't like flip-flop, but quality time is my platonic one. And physical touch is my romantic one, I think.
That makes sense.
So those like flip-flop at the top. And I think it's like giving and receiving, because quality time, I feel like the giving goes with the receiving, and you're just like, that one's easy. But like in the physical touch, like giving and receiving. But yeah, so quality time is it's definitely my top like platonic one. I really like quality time. To me though means like you're not on your phone. We're like, oh my god, I would get so. I think I made a conscious effort a couple of years ago, I think on the tail end of my college relationship, to like not have my phone out, because I'm like, if you're here with me, like, it's not quality time if you're talking to like other people
right
while we're hanging out. Like, I don't care in what context it is. Like, if we're gonna go get dinner and you wanted to go get dinner with me, don't bring along your 5 best friends in your group chat. Like, I don't know, talk to him after. Unless they're also like if we're both like looking at something or whatever. But I literally hate like going to a restaurant and looking around and seeing like these couples or these friends just literally on their phones, like not talking to each other. Because that's another big thing, is like I feel like I'm not on my socials too much. And so if other people are on their phones, I'm usually like the last one to get on mine, or the one to like put mine away for first, or just like not rip it out and just literally be standing there awkwardly while everyone else is like nose to phone. So yeah, that's a big like caveat, I guess. But yeah, quality time is definitely the big one, because I love like when people are like, yeah, I'm gonna set aside to hang out with you. It's like, I prioritize you. I love you platonically or not, but we're thinking like in the platonic sense with this, like, you know, it means a lot. And then romantic one is definitely physical touch. That one's just kind of self-explanatory, and I think it's because of the whole like level of intimacy thing that plays like a big part into it. So those are mine.
I don't know. I think it's so. Maybe we're just weird. I don't know. No, not really. But
yeah,
with the physical touch thing, like, I feel like I saw it happen more with friends in college. We have talked about this with saying I love you to friends. I feel like along with saying that more often to friends also came more physical touch with friends. Like
Mm-hmm. Okay, I
um,
could see that.
at least for me, college friends, like that was a thing. High school friends and younger, like no.
Yeah,
Uh, like we didn't say love you bye on the phone.
right.
Me and you still don't. I mean, because we're not used to it. That's not what we
Which is
did.
so weird because I say it to like almost everyone else. Like,
It's fine.
that's
Uh,
funny.
like, I mean, we don't hug each other when we see each other, but I hug Hannah whenever I see her because we've always done that. And
Yeah,
obviously, it just depends because, like, how life cycles through and stuff is probably how
right.
friendships get moved around and interacted
Yeah.
with those love languages. But I don't know. I don't understand why that change happened in college unless it was like a generational thing or I don't know if it's an age thing or if it's just that it became more popular to do so.
Yeah. It also, I think my guess would be it's probably more of like a personal age thing because also when you think about it, like, not that either of us like grew up in like the Woodlands from birth, but it was like
Yeah.
we grew up, we were there like for a good amount of time before, like, I guess going to college, whatever. But like we were around each other a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and like that friendship, I guess, wasn't going anywhere. We had a lot of time to kind of like grow it and stuff. But when you go into college, like everybody knows that's like 4 years, not like 4 years crunch time, let's go, but like like it's 4 years, and I think it just has like the association that like you get a lot closer to people in a much shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
So that makes me think like for Nicole, for example, like she lives in Dallas. She doesn't live anywhere like close to Houston. She's like, I don't see her a lot over the summers, whatnot. So it's like on the phone. I feel like she's a bad example. I don't know if I don't think we say love you. I don't think we hug. Anyways, Grace
Okay.
and I do though. But for like Nicole and Grace, like both of them live like out of the way. I don't see them over the summers, whatnot. So it would always be like I feel like a stronger bond
Yeah.
like happening quicker.
Okay.
So maybe not like we force ourselves to hug those people and to like say like love you and whatnot, but like it might just be like in the back of our heads, like
Yeah.
getting close to that person really, really fast. You just like associate the physical like hug or like, hey, love you
Right.
with that.
So just take down some of those walls earlier too.
Yeah. I feel like
Because I
us
feel like
like,
you're all
yeah,
vulnerable freshman year of
yeah.
college. Like,
Oh, for
so
sure.
you
I
already know
also,
you're looking at another hot mess, and it's fine.
yeah, facts. I
Yeah.
also wonder, like, because we met each other before we got into high school and before we got into relationships.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
So I'm wondering if, like, because after you like once you get into a relationship, I think you get a lot more comfortable saying like telling the person that you love them, and like
Yeah.
you get more of that like physical intimacy romantically, and
Mm-hmm.
like so then I guess that kind of like us becoming friends before then, it's like, yeah, we didn't hug because like
We didn't hug
why
anybody.
would we? Yeah, like we didn't say love you because like why would we?
Yeah, that was reserved for family.
Right.
Oh.
So I guess that like until relationships enter the picture, then you're kind of like, oh, like I can say this to people like who aren't my family, or like it's normal. Like I feel those platonic emotions,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So maybe developmental type.
yeah,
Okay. I feel
developmental and
like
circumstantial.
I've been seeing, which this could be like exposure to everything that these kids have.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of like just friends in the hallway sometimes, which I've never seen any romantic happenings in the hallways
Yet.
yet. Heard about it, but I haven't seen
Oh
it.
God.
But I have seen like friends hug each other before going to class, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we didn't do all of that.
Well,
Like that wasn't a normal thing. But I guess
right.
on, I don't know, so like social media, like it's been normalized to say love you to your friends or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I think there's just all this exposure to it's normal to have emotions,
Yeah.
um, especially platonic ones.
Yeah.
But
Because you also know, like, I'm not going to say the generational gap is closing because I don't think generational is the right
mm,
word, but like people are like kids who are like in junior high and like in those like early preteen, teen years are a lot more connected to like people our age and like even people like further up into their 20s in a way that like we weren't. And I think that kind of very much just goes back to what you're saying about like socials and whatnot. But
yeah,
just that connection, I agree. I definitely feel like it uh, impacted it. So I want to read a book about this now.
love languages. Yeah, I wonder if there's a good
Yeah.
one. I know there's really good ones about the 9. What are they? The numbers. I can't think
The
of it. Oh,
Enneagram.
Enneagram. Thank you. Um, so I bet there what is one on love languages that.
I wonder if those things tie together. Like, I wonder if
Mm.
your preferred love languages like are associated with a certain Enneagram or a certain um like is Myers-Briggs the one that's like
I,
INT?
yes, but I don't know anything about that one.
Okay. I know a little bit. That one's really interesting,
Yeah,
but
those letters
that one's
always
also
confuse me.
weird.
I know
Yeah.
because they've tried to connect the zodiac with the Enneagram. However,
Which
belief
is
systems are a little harsh with that one.
yeah.
Like that comparison is a little harder because of different beliefs. But I bet there's a love language one to Enneagram. I'm an Enneagram 9.
Yeah. I'm a
So
one.
maybe.
But I'm like, yeah. Well, also, here's the thing. Like, you choose your love, like, you don't choose your zodiac, but like, you choose your love language, you choose your Enneagram, you choose
Do you choose
like
it?
they're all not choose consciously, but like they're personality associated,
Mm,
right? So I feel
right.
like those are more likely to have a stronger correlation than your zodiac, which
Mm,
there is some weird, like, I don't understand how that's correlated because it's weird. It's something psychological and scientific behind it, but it's weird. Um, but like that one, I guess, isn't. I feel like the other ones are much more like personality based. So like
so
I'm
they're
a
correlated.
yeah. So like I'm a one wing two Enneagram. And like the twos are like super nurturing,
Mm,
I guess. So
that
like
physical
maybe that
touch.
could tie more into the physical touch. Yeah. But then the ones are like super freaking type A.
Because I think, because it goes like either 9 wing 1, 9 wing 8, right?
Yeah, your wing
So I'm
has
a
to be
wing.
like next to your thing. What'd you say? You're
But
wing
I'm
one?
9 wing 1.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't think you're an eight, like a wing eight.
No, no, no.
Eights would be crazy.
Um,
Eights and threes, they be wild in sometimes. Um,
we need to go through that too.
yeah. I think I
Let's
kind of want to
name it.
retake my test too because
See if
like
it's changed.
yeah, because I know the two part is definitely for sure, but I'm wondering if I change from like a one wing two to like a two wing three or a two wing one, you know?
Oh,
Because
interesting.
threes are very much like I think they're called like the Achievers or whatever.
Mm.
And so they're like the get after it ones. You see a lot of those people in like STEM majors. And like a lot of BIMS people too. Like Cassie's a 3, I think. My mom is a 2. Oh, very interesting. I'd love to get into that.
We need to get into that soon.
Yeah.
Maybe next episode though is with Lance.
Is that frat weekend?
Yes.
Yay! Yeah.
Guest star next podcast.
Woo woo.
Yeah, and then maybe after that we can get into Enneagrams. It'll give us some time to work out our quizzes and work out our research.
Personality test.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll have a guest star next time. Did you have anything else to wrap up our love languages topic?
I don't think so. I guess by like, I don't know. I think there's an approach to it too where it's like some people have love languages that they're like, oh no, I don't like this. And then other people are like, I love all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's no like right or wrong or like whatnot with them, but I really do want to know like how they can change, why they change, all of that stuff. So I feel like you're also, I don't know if you disliked any of them, but I think yours were a little bit more like distinct from each other and like distant from each other than mine. I feel like mine just get muddled together sometimes, like a lot more.
Maybe we'll have a part 2.
Honestly, I'll be down 1000%. But I need to read a book on this first.
Yes.
And we'll circle back.
Circle back.
We'll do her research. Yeah.
But
we'll see. We'll get into it.
Hope y'all enjoyed. If you didn't, that sucks.
Sorry, not sorry.
But thanks.
If you didn't, enjoy your week still.
Yes.
Have a good week. Have a good life.
Ciao. Bye. Adios.
Peace out.
Oh. Peace up. Bye.